Hey everyone, welcome to SheaRants where horror and supreme. Today I am talking about The Crow because I went to see it last night for its re-release for the 30th anniversary and I really enjoyed it once again. It is an amazing film. I do happen to have it just back here, so I'll pop that just up here since I am reviewing The Crow today, but I think it was actually better in the cinema. Like, watching it on Netflix or on my DVD that I have, they are good, but this was an experience which I won't forget. Now, The Crow, of course, it's a very well-known movie. It is a cult hit now. And that is all just because of the tragedy of the movie and also due to its really cool themes and just overall awesomeness of the film. But yeah, let's get into this. So I'm going to be doing this video sort of differently than I usually do. I'm going to be going over the plot of the movie, then I'm going to be giving you guys my review for the movie, then I'm just going to be going over, of course, why it has become so successful. So, the film begins with the death of a young couple, Eric Draven, played by Brandon Lee, and Shelley Webster, played by Sophia Hicines, on Devil's Night, the night before Halloween in a crime-ridden city. Eric is a rock musician and Shelley is his fiancée, and the couple is brutally attacked by a gang led by the sadistic crime lord, Lord Top Dollar, played by Michael Winkett. Shelley is beaten and raped, which is just disgusting. Like, that's probably my least favourite part of the movie, just because of how, like, in depth they go into it in it. Like, they do a lot of close-ups, which just were a bit much. Eric is then thrown out of a window, though, and he dies. Shelley later dies in the hospital after enduring hours of surgery. 1 year later, though, exactly 1 year after their deaths, a mysterious crow resurrects Eric Draven from his grave. Emerging from the earth, Eric finds himself with supernatural powers, including rapid healing and enhanced strength. The crow acts as his guide, leading him to the people responsible for his and Shelley's deaths. Eric then returns to his old apartment and experiences flashbacks of the brutal attack. He paints his face white with black around his eyes and lips, resembling the Harlequin mask. This transformation marks the beginning of his quest for vengeance, though, as one by one he tracks down the members of the gang, each encountered and each later killed by violent retribution. He first meets Tintin, who is played by Lawrence Mason. This first person to fall is confronted, and then he is just killed with his own knife, over and over, just stabbed and stabbed and stabbed. He next goes after Funboy, who is found in a drug-induced state because he was hitting up with his girlfriend, and the crow kills Funboy with an overdose of his own morphine. Eric then targets T-Bird, who is involved in a high-speed car chase, and T-Bird is tied to his car, which explodes after Eric sends it hurtling into the river after putting TNT inside of it. And then finally, there's Skang, which, yes, that is his name. The last gang member, and he tries to escape but is eventually caught and thrown out of a window by Eric in the same way that he died. During his quest, though, Eric reconnects with Sarah, who is a young girl he and Shelley had cared for because her mother was a terrible person who was busy getting high with Funboy rather than actually taking care of her daughter. And she was also taken care of by Ernie Hudson's character, who is a sympathetic police officer who investigated the murders. And Eric then learns that Top Dollar was actually responsible for orchestrating the crime that led to his and Shelley's deaths. So then Top Dollar, realizing that Eric is coming for him, takes Sarah hostage and flees to a Gothic church, which is literally by the cemetery where Eric dies and was just there looking over Shelley's grave. In this bit, though, he realizes that the crow is linked to Eric's powers and has his, henchmen shoot the crow to try and stop Eric from being able to fight him correctly. You know, he wants to weaken him, which he does successfully do. However, In the final fight, Eric uses the pain and memories of Shelley's suffering to weaken him, causing him to fall off of the roof to his death from the church's rooftop. After avenging Shelley, though, Eric returns to her grave and Shelley's spirit appears and the two are reunited in the afterlife. Sarah then visits Eric's grave, leaving a flower, and the crow that guided Eric's, mission flies down onto it and gives her Eric's ring, which he proposed to Shelley with. And that's pretty much where the movie ends. It is a really cool movie. Let's get to the review section. So, The Crow is a visually stunning film that masterfully blends elements of gothic horror, action, and romance. Alex Proyas' direction creates a dark, atmospheric world that mirrors the anguish and despair of its protagonist. The film's visual style, which is characterized by its moody, rain-soaked cityscapes and stark contrasts, enhances the emotional weight of the narrative, and watching it up on the big screen really just enhanced all of that tenfold. It made it so much better than the first time I'd watched it. Brandon Lee's performance as Eric Draven, though, is nothing short of extraordinary. His portrayal is both intense and nuanced. He captures the character's sorrow, rage, and undenying love for Shelley, along with a load of comedic timing in there which perfectly adds to the film's narrative. Lee's tragic death, which happened during filming, adds an additional layer of poignancy to his performance, which kind of makes his journey even more impactful in this film, as his presence is really haunting and unforgettable, which really cements his legacy in cinematic history. The supporting cast really delivers strong performances. Ernie Hudson's role as Officer Albrecht provide a grounded, empathetic counterpoint to Eric's supernatural quest. He's more normal, I'd say. And I'd also say that the actress who plays Sarah definitely brings a bit of innocence and hope to the movie, which is definitely necessary in a world where these guys just go around blazing the city once a year and just killing a lot of people. However, Michael Wincott's top dollar is a menacing and charismatic villain whose sinister presence definitely looms over the entire movie. And the film's soundtrack is so good. Like, some of the music in this just really enhances the dark and brooding atmosphere, and it also just enhances the emotional intensity of, like, specific scenes. Like, when he's thinking of Shelley, the music sort of softens. When he's ready to just murder, the music gets kind of more, like, heavy. And it definitely explores the themes of loss, love, and redemption. And Eric's journey is not just one of vengeance, but it's also one of reconciliation with his own pain. And his just want to get back with not Sarah, Shelley. And it's really cool to see how he's finally just able to get with her in the end of the movie, and how they're finally reunited. Ultimately, this movie is a timeless classic that stands out for its unique blend of gothic visuals, compelling performances, and a profound emotional depth. Alex Proyas' direction, combined with Bradley's unforgettable portrayal of Eric Draven, creates a film that is both haunting and poetic. Its exploration of love, vengeance, and the fact that it's set against a dark backdrop of a decaying urban landscape that is literally blown up once a year definitely makes me understand why it was just so beloved. But let's actually talk about some of the behind-the-scenes information about this movie, because it's a bit sad. Well, it's very sad, and it's a bit all over the place as well. So, filming began in February 1993 in North Carolina. The production was noted for its dark and moody set design, which faithfully captured the comic book's atmosphere. However, the production was made by a tragic accident on March 31st, 1993, when Brandon Lee was fatally wounded on set due to a mishandled prop gun that contained a live round lodged in the barrel, which was discharged when a blank round was fired. Despite his death, the decision was made to complete the film as a tribute to him, and the production used a combination of body doubles, digital effects, and false perspective to finish the remaining scenes, and the visual effects team, led by DreamQuest Images, played a crucial role in, digitally adding his face onto the body doubles for certain scenes. This film was ultimately released on May 13th, 1994, and was both a critical and commercial success, and critics praised the film for its stylized visuals, atmospheric score, and Brandon Lee's poignant performance. The film ultimately grossed over $90 million in the worldwide box office, and has just been re-released for its 30-year anniversary, which is where I finally got to see it on screen for the first time. I had seen it before, but watching this on screen was definitely more interesting, I'd say. I definitely enjoy it a lot more now I've seen it on a big screen, if that makes sense. I think it's a lot more interesting to see a film which I'd seen before on a cinema as well, just because I went to this with my dad, who originally showed me the film. It was kind of like a full circle moment, because like at first he shows me the film while just coming down the stairs, and he's like, "I'm gonna watch The Crow. You wanna watch it with me?" I'm like, "What's The Crow? Sure." And then now I'm going to see it in the cinema with him, and that which is really cool. But yeah, that's The Crow. What do you guys think about it? I think it's a really good movie. I do really recommend it. Let me know your thoughts on The Crow in the comments below if you have seen the movie. If you haven't seen the movie, I do really recommend it, as it is really good. If you have liked what you see here and you want to see some more of my reviews, so click just up here and you can see some more of my reviews. Until next time, subscribe to the channel and like the video. Bye bye.